Hey, book lovers, and welcome back to Buzzin on Books. Today we are chatting with Jay Felker about her debut novel, Mayday and Breaking Free, her publishing journey, and what's coming next, as well as asking questions, getting to know her personally. Let's dive in. So, you are a thriller dark romance writer, and your debut novel was Mayflowers, which came out January of this year. That's wild because you also have the second book out, Breaking Free, which
Yes,
released in April.
correct.
So, how does it feel to finally be published?
It's amazing. It's been a journey.
And I saw that you also have a third book coming out, which was Goddess of Ghosts, Shadows, and Secrets on October
Correct.
11th.
Yes.
That's a lot of books for 1 year.
So I'm behind schedule. I should have been writing for a long time now.
That's okay. I've heard lots of people saying that they usually don't get published until later on in life. So it doesn't matter when you start. It's the fact that you started. Where did the idea for Mayflowers come from?
I'm not really sure. I guess I've just love thrillers. I've been a fan of all thrillers since I was young, like a child. Stephen King was my idol, obviously. I read every one of his books. And then it went into dark romance as I got older. And I wanted to combine like a thriller and a dark romance together.
And so you continued on into the second book, which I don't want to describe too much because I don't want to give things away, but it's a
That's okay.
continuation of The Family.
Yes.
I'm excited to read it because I saw it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I'll get to it because I just finished this, which I should also say thank you for sending this to me. I remember it was back for the Valentine's giveaway that you were doing, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was super exciting to finally have had time to read it.
Well, I'm glad you read it.
I gotta say, this book threw me for a loop with the ending. I didn't have a suspicion about it until I was about 2/3 of the way. The entire time I thought it was the person who was originally blamed for the whole thing at the end. You did good in leading me in that direction. I'm like, obviously it's this person. And then things happen and I'm like, oh, maybe it's not this person. Why are you acting this way? That's so strange, especially in the hospital scene. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I wanted a good plot twist, so that's what I was going for.
You gave me the plot twist for sure.
Oh, good, good, I'm glad. That's what I was going for.
Well, and I love books because if I can call it a mile away, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. It's really good, but I want to be surprised. And
Right.
thank you for that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that it worked because I was nervous, especially when you're writing your first book. You're like, is this
Yes,
gonna go out the way that I want it to? Yeah.
it did.
Good, good.
I saw the one coming out in October. That one was also based off of Persephone. So is there a specific reason why you've chosen Persephone?
Not really. I'm just a big fan of Greek mythology, so when I wrote the first two books and had that in there a little bit, I decided that I wanted to stick to that theme because it's Goddess of Ghosts is obviously not a dark thriller, it's a fantasy. But I wanted
Mhm.
to at least stick to some kind of Greek mythology so that even though they're not connected, they're still connected in a way.
What about Persephone attracted you to that story or using that into the book? Was there anything specific about Persephone?
I'm all for a strong female character in any book. Like that's my go-to. In my books, I like to portray a strong female main character. I did that in both Mayflowers and Breaking Free, and I am continuing to do that in Goddess of Ghosts. I think Persephone just is spring and loving, and there's just something strong about her. And I think as women, we should support that.
I love a strong female character, especially when there's that negative stigma that is associated with women who are stronger or direct. There's definitely that negative stigma with it. It's getting better now for sure, but I definitely agree because I feel like a lot of us can also relate to that, whether we are that person or we want to be that person.
Right, right. I agree. I read a lot of books with strong female main characters, and I wanted to do that in my writing as well. So I continue that in my next book.
Can you talk about that book a little bit? The Goddess of Ghosts?
Sure. It is based on Melanoe, which is the daughter of Hades and Persephone. And so she has both light and dark, good and evil in her. And she starts off living with her adoptive parents in the mortal realm here. And she soon realizes that she's not normal per se. And then she starts getting these powers, and then things just continue from there. She finds out who she really is. I think it'll be a fun journey.
I've always loved Persephone myself. because,
Good.
like you said, what she exemplifies. Also, I'm a big person that loves a villain. So the fact that she loves
I
a
do too.
villain and sees this soft side to him. All of your books are self published. How was that journey to getting your books published and choosing to self publish instead of going that traditional route?
Well, I wanted to publish them fast because I've had
Mhm.
the idea in my head and I had the writing for so long that I just wanted to get it out there fast because I was like, why am I not sharing this with everybody? I have these ideas, I have these stories in my head and written down, and I'm keeping them to myself. It was the quickest way, basically. For my last book, Goddess of Ghosts, I have been reaching out to try to get it published, but again, it's already written, so to stall it any longer, I just feel like I'm ready to share it. So if somebody does reach out down the line, obviously I would maybe consider doing that. But for the moment, self publishing was just the easier way and the fastest way.
Yeah, I know usually with publishing, I was just talking to someone else about it. It's going to be like a 1 to 2 year process of getting everything in line for the release.
Right.
And then you have your ARC readers, you have promoting the books and everything. So I definitely get that with wanting to be published sooner instead of waiting for that. So when did you decide that you wanted to be an author?
I've had these ideas for so long and I just never really did anything with them. And my husband was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I work full time. I'm a mother, I'm a wife. He's like, just publish them. So I just decided one day to just really get an editor and work it out and get it out there for everybody and just hope that people enjoy it.
You said you've had these written down for a while. Has it been since you were like a teenager?
No, not that long. When I was a teenager, I used to write short thrillers, I used to write poems, I used to write all the time, and when I wasn't writing, I was reading. But as I got older into adulthood, I started having these ideas and I started writing things down, taking notes, like ideas would pop into my head. I could be sleeping and I like wake up and I'm like writing stuff down and my husband's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It came to me. I have to write it down." So I just had this idea of, again, making a strong female character, but that you didn't see. I just wanted to bring the story to everybody else because holding it and just keeping it written down and not doing anything with it wasn't getting me anywhere. I do it just for the fun of it. I love to write. I love to read. I just enjoy it. So if I have the story already written, I want to get it out there.
I can only imagine the gratification that comes with people reading your stories and reaching out to you being like, "Holy cow," getting that gratification of other people enjoying what you do for fun is also very positive and influential into continuing to write.
Yes, it definitely is. It is so nice when somebody reaches out and they're like, "Oh, I loved your book." My mom is my biggest fan. She reads my books. People are like, "You let your mom read it?" I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah." We're all human, right? She's an adult. So, yeah, sure, if she wants to read it. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And there's much worse out there. Yours was a good medium-ish, I'd say, because I've definitely read super descriptive things that I'm just like, "Who?"
Get ready for the second one, 'cause that's a little bit
Okay.
more. It's a little bit more.
I love it. So there was a decent amount of spice in this one. So would you say there's probably more in the second book?
Yes, there's definitely more. It's definitely darker than the first one, for sure.
I feel like that would make sense considering where it left off and you already have that knowledge. So there's probably going to be a twist, but you can't spring the same thing on us that happened in the first book.
The second one, there's some stalking. It's a little bit different, a little bit darker. It's a continuation, though. But in my third book, Goddess of Ghosts, that's coming out, there is some spice, but it's more reasonable, more downplayed.
It's okay. Still enjoy it, whether it's less
Right,
or
right,
more.
right, right.
Are you going to continue on with the Mayflower series or is Breaking Free going to be the last one in that set?
So Breaking Free was the last one. It's finished. There will be more in the series for Goddess of Ghosts. It will be a 4-book series. So
So is it going to continue along with the perspective of the daughter of Hades and Persephone?
all 4 books will be of her journey, yes. It is single point of view. I did go back and forth about that, and I was like, "Are people gonna like that?" Just her point of view, because like I said, I wanted to just narrow it to just a strong female main character.
I haven't read it, so I wouldn't know, but if it's more focused on her, I feel like that might make more sense compared to if it was from her parents' point of view, then that would be more dual perspective.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever write about other Greek mythology characters?
When I wrote Goddess of Ghosts, I wrote the idea behind all 4 of them so that I know that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I don't wanna get
Mhm.
stuck with writer's block, like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?" I put a scene in one of the books, and there's Medusas in there, and I was like, "Oh my god, how awesome would it be
Okay.
to write a story, based off of her? So I don't know yet. Just an idea. So I think that her story would be awesome though to tell.
Especially, I feel like recently with Medusa, it's come out about how she was the victim and how she's a very strong woman. So, continuing that topic of strong women within literature, I love a
Yeah.
Medusa story.
I know. I think it would be awesome.
It might be a playoff or a standalone to the series.
Thought about it, yes. Again, I still have a lot more writing to do with the series, but yeah, I definitely was thinking about it, especially because she is going to be in one of the books a little bit. So, not in the first book, but she will be in there.
It definitely sounds like you're a planner for your books with your beginning, middle, and end, and just kind of getting there. Do you usually follow that template or do you deviate from it?
Pretty much follow it. I change things along the way to make it make sense, for all of the books and or if I'm like, "Oh, I forgot to add that." I've never written obviously a series before. I did write the other 2 books, but I never written a series, so I wanted to make sure though that I knew where I wanted the book to go. I wanted to make sure that I had an ending, that I knew how it was gonna end so that I wasn't stumped on that later and I had 2 or 3 books and I was like, "Oh, what do I do now?"
I don't write books, but I feel like it's a great idea because you can add little snippets that when you get to the end, you can look back and be like, my gosh, I saw that earlier and I didn't piece everything together.
There's definitely things that I'm jotting down now that I'm like, "Okay, I have to make sure I continue with this in the next book."
You kind of said that you really liked thrillers when you were younger and even now. Lately, you've gotten into dark romance. I know you said you kind of wanted to write something with that, but was there any specific why you chose those specific genres?
Not really. Like I said, that's just something I enjoyed. Thriller has always been my passion since I was young. Halloween is like my favorite time of year. I do all of the haunted houses. If anybody knows me, they know that Halloween is my favorite. And I love scary movies. I love scary books. I love thrillers. I was only right that I would write a thriller. But at the same time, who doesn't like a little bit of spice in there? Of course, I had to add a little bit of that.
I love Halloween. It's
Me
my
too.
favorite holiday.
Mine
So
too.
I get that. I usually do all the things related. I try to watch all the classic horror movies.
Right? Yes, I love the classic.
You said you like Stephen King. What's your favorite book by him?
Needful Things, 100%. It's so underrated. People don't talk about it. It's an incredible book. Pet Sematary is also a really good one. Obviously, we all know that one. And It is a really good book. It is a lot better than the movie. They're huge, the books, though. There are a lot of pages. His work is unbelievable. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite authors for sure. And a new author, I love Kat Blackthorne. I don't know if you ever read any of her books, but they're amazing as well. So
I
she
haven't.
writes like paranormal romance. I actually mention her book in my newest book because I'm obsessed with her writing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she's a good author too. She's a newer author though.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. You said she does paranormal romance?
She does, yeah. She wrote a series of The Halloween Boys. So good.
Okay.
There's a lot of spice
Okay.
in those though.
I like spice.
Demons
I'm
and
in.
yeah, but she has a strong female main character in her book.
I'll have to take a peek into that then because I haven't read anything by her yet. I just finished Hollow House by another author and it was a super quick read. It was like 100 pages, I think, but I'll have to check that out. So you said you have a full time job. What do you do?
I work in a hospital. I work in a lab. I work 10 hours a day.
So Corinne works in the hospital.
Yeah.
She's a doctor. So
Yes.
you have firsthand knowledge seeing everything going on. I always love when there's some sort of personal experience within the book because I'm like, wow, that's super legit then.
Yes, yes. She definitely had to work in the medical field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given everything that happens, that makes a ton of sense
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. You said you work full time. You're a mother as well. I think I saw that you're a grandma.
I am, yes.
Got it. How do you balance everything? And then with writing, because I know you said you kind of like write down here and there, but what do you do to balance it all?
It's a struggle. Like I said, I've been writing the other books for a while. The ideas were already there, so it's pretty much just putting the pen to the paper and just getting it all written. I just find free time to do it. That I can, I sit down and write. But I give myself a break in between. I started Goddess of Ghosts. That idea came to me so fast after writing the other two. Every time an idea comes to me, I just write it down. And then from there, I just expand. I have a supportive family. My husband is so supportive. If ever there's a time I'm like, I need to write, he's like, go, just go do it. And my daughter, she's 15. So my son's already out of the house. So it's just her, and she's in her room all the time. She's like, "Go ahead, mom, whatever you want to do."
It's definitely easier when they're older and they're a little
Yeah.
bit more independent compared to when they're younger.
If I'm not driving her somewhere, then she really doesn't bother me too much.
Where do your character names come from? For the Hades and Persephone one, is that actually their daughter? I don't know if they have a daughter. I'm not too versed in Greek mythology.
So, yes, in the Goddess of Ghosts, Melanoe is the actual daughter of Hades. And in that book, all of the names, I did put how to pronounce her names in the beginning of the book for everybody to make it easier. Because if that's one thing, I'm like, why don't people do this more often? So, yeah, they are all based off of real Greek mythological characters. The only one that is made up, I don't know where I came up with his name at, to be honest with you. I just liked it.
Are your characters based off of people you've met in life?
Not really, no. I think most of my writing is from ideas from when you're reading other things and you just get this idea in your head. And so I think of a lot of it's just from either reading or watching something. And then you're like, wouldn't that be cool to mix those together?
I remember a while ago, I got a book that said steal like an artist. And pretty much it's just how we all get ideas based off of other ideas. Nothing's original, which it's not a bad thing.
Right, right.
It's makes us think of something else. So it's original in a sense, but it's not like a fully original idea.
I think that's everybody's. You read so many books that have the same concept but have their own ideas. So I think a lot of
Oh,
writers do that.
absolutely. What's one thing that you wish you knew before publishing Mayflowers?
I wish that I had people read it before, which I didn't make the mistake on my other ones because it's the only one that I've written that I didn't have somebody read it before I published it. Like a beta reader, because I had to go back in and edit it after it was published because there was a couple mistakes. And I was like, I wish I had somebody read that.
I do that a lot myself where I'll proofread it and then I'll be like, okay, it's good. And then I'll have someone else read it before I publish something. And they'll be like, you spelled that wrong. And I'm like,
Right.
I knew that too.
Yeah.
I know how to
Exactly.
spell.
Right.
I know what's there. So I'm skimming over everything because I'm like, yep, that
Exactly.
sounds good. That sounds good.
When you're writing, you kind of memorize the book. So at some point, I don't even think I'm reading it anymore.
Do you have any real life fears that are translated into your books?
I don't think I've translated any of them into the book really. Try to keep them from everybody.
Well, what is your biggest fear? If you're a thriller writer, I'm curious.
Let's say my biggest fear is death. I mean, isn't that everybody's biggest fear? Dying or being killed if you read any of my books.
Well, I know some people, they don't necessarily fear death because it's just a natural part of life
Right, right.
that we all eventually end. I mean, I don't want to die, but I know some people are like, it happens, it's normal. They're just okay with it.
Fear for everybody, in my life. Like
Hmm.
my husband, my daughter, my mom. Like I fear leaving them behind, if that makes any sense. I think that's what scares me more.
The absence of you. I can relate to that a lot because it's like, well, what's going to happen then with this?
Right. And they should just discard my Kindle. Just burn it or something.
No one sign in to my Kindle.
Right. Don't sign into my Kindle.
Just so funny to me. I was reading something the other day that said my coworker found my Goodreads and now I have to go delete all my reviews of my monster romance. I was like, why? I'm just going to tell the person I have great recommendations for them.
Right, right,
You can look at my Kindle and you'll see my ratings and you'll know what books are good then,
right.
in my opinion.
Yeah. At first I was nervous. I was like, oh, people would be like, what do you write? Like, I don't want to tell you. Now I'm just like, this is what I write. You either
Yeah.
like it or you don't.
I mean, it doesn't need to be as taboo of a topic. Almost everyone does that stuff. I mean, I'm also very open with my conversations. I'm an open book. You ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be a taboo thing, pretty much.
Right, right. Yeah, it's scary, especially at work. But I got over that pretty fast. Especially when you write a book like that. It's one thing reading it, but
Hmm.
when you write it, I mean, everyone knows now. I do write under a pen name, but everybody close to me still knows that I wrote it.
I did not know you wrote under a pen name. I was going to
Yeah.
say, what are you going to do if you come across someone in the hospital and they're like, I know who you are?
My name is Joelle though, but I don't
Hmm.
use my real last name.
That's smart when you work in a field like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Such interesting conversations otherwise. What is a book that changed your life?
A book that changed my life. Probably one of my favorite books of all time is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. I don't know if you read it. I guess you could say dark romance. I don't even know what you would label it. It's so traumatic. The main female character and the male, their experience is just so traumatic. And then their journey after that is just, It's heartbreaking, but it's one of the best books I think I've ever read. The triggers are definitely alarming. The beginning of the book is very hard to read. There's a lot of stuff that happens, but their journey after that is just so amazing. Anytime I recommend a book, that's the book I'm recommending. But it's heartbreaking. So have some tissues with you.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Buzzin on Books. Huge thank you to Jay Felker and for sharing your ideas behind Mayflowers. If you love this chat, check out her books and keep the buzz alive. Until next time, happy reading.